Good day, everyone. I hope all of you are fine today. By the way, I'm Marjorie Otaso together with Rodal Padilla and Justin May Ludovice. We are here to give you some ideas or information about audience and criticism, theater space, and design. Before we start, who among you already watched any theater performances? If none, let us all learn and enjoy our lessons for today. Our first reporter, Rodal Padilla.
Audience and criticism. Audience in theatre. The audience plays a crucial role in driving and even participating in the performance of theatre. Theatre cannot exist without the audience. Audience response in a performance is very important. Audience members have a responsibility to participate in a performance through display of emotions like laughing, crying, gasping, and the most important is the standing ovation if the performance of the performer are very well good and well organized. Audience also has an etiquette. They have their do's and don'ts. Do not be late. Do not bring food and drink into the theater unless otherwise it is notified. Do not turn on your cell phone or other electronic devices, not merely silence it. Do not text or instant message. Do not take video or still pictures of the performance. Do not talk during the performance. Do not put your feet on the backs of seats. Do not leave the theatre while performance is in progress unless it is emergency. Do not laugh, cry, gasp, or applaud as appropriate because it will distract the performance of the performer on the stage. We should be followed the do's and don'ts of the organizer.
What is theater criticism? So, theater criticism is a genre of arts criticism in the act of writing or speaking about performing arts, such as a play or opera. Drama criticism is the comparison, analysis, interpretation, or evaluation of dramatic works. Various reference works describe literary criticism as essentially an opinion supported by evidence relating to theme, style, setting, historical context, or political context. To evaluate drama in theater, you must be able to recognize what was and wasn't successful on stage and recognize all the elements that contribute to the impact of a production. If you're writing about theater, it may be to evaluate your own work or that of others in a production you've seen. Criticism is a term derived from the Greek words krino, meaning to judge, and krites, meaning a judge or jury person. Criticism is the practice of judging the merits and faults of something. The individual who makes judgments and provides a form of feedback is considered a critic. To engage in criticism is to criticize one specific item of criticism is called a criticism or critique. Theater criticism, formal and informal. Formal theater criticism, this can include a printed review in a newspaper, a planned panel discussion on a production, or a critical book written about a series of theater events. Second is the informal theater criticism. This can include a classroom discussion among students who watch the play, friends talking about the play after the show, or an online chat about the play. A theatrical performance that focuses on small presentations, such as one taking place in a classroom setting, usually it is not intended for public view. The goal is to succinctly communicate the honest reactions to the major elements of the production. We need to identify the artist's intentions, measure how well they succeeded, and place the work within a larger context of culture and our own taste. A critic enthusiasm can be infectious and leads to ticket sales. Guidelines for writing a critique of a production. First is be specific. Write a rough draft of the review right after you have seen the production. The longer you wait, the less you remember the experience of the play. Remember, your role as a critic is to describe, analyze, and judge. In your review, you will need to describe what you saw in detail and make the reader see what you see. Be specific and true in your description. Next is cover everything: acting, sound, set, costume, and lighting design. Analyze what you think the director or designing was trying to achieve. Why do you think they designed the movements, lights, sound effects, and costume a certain way? What do you think they were trying to make the audience feel or think? Notice the movements, blockings of the actors. In as brief and precise manner as possible, describe in detail the physical aspects of what you saw performed. Keep in mind at all times that whatever you include must in some way contribute to the assertion you made in your introduction and thesis. Focus on particular scenes or performance that will provide the evidence for your final evaluation of the play. Remember, this is just one production. It may be different when it is a different production, and express an opinion honestly, nothing both the good and not so good elements of the show. Judge how effective the play as a whole. Don't be afraid to give an honest opinion of the production, but be sure you can back up your critique in the body of your review. Don't make your personal opinion the main feature. Do state your opinion honestly, grounded in specific points. The next is theater space and design. Theater space and design. Theater design, the art and technique of designing and building a space, a theater intended primarily for the performance of drama, and its allied art by live performers who are physically present in front of a live audience, is concerned with elaborating such space, first to provide the optimum conditions for the audience to experience in a theater performance, and second, to aid the performance in achieving the fullest expression of their art. Theater space, a space where a performance takes place, in effect a large machine in the form of a building that is specialized for presenting performances. Theater design is an essential part of the overall theater performance. In fact, the aesthetics of the theater are often just as important as the production taking place there. The design of the space can change the entire mindset of an audience before a single line of dialogue is spoke or a single note is played. A grand and luxurious theater has the power to transport the audience to another period in time when men wore tuxedos and women wore elegant gowns to the theater. These surroundings enhance the overall theater experience and set the expectation for a certain level of quality when it comes to the performance. There are a number of things to consider when looking at theater design, including setting, lighting, and the type of stage used. Theater space dictates so much of the emotional and sensory impact on the spectator. Directors seek the most appropriate space possible for each production.
Good day again, everyone. So my topic is about types of theater spaces. So the first one is the proscenium, also called picture frame stage. The audience watches the action of the play through the proscenium arc. The audience sits in front of the stage like in a movie theater. So in proscenium, the audience experiences the theatrical event by looking at the picture frame of the proscenium arc. So the second one is trust. The audience sits on three sides of the stage. This allows the audience members to be closer proximity to the actors. So the audience may view the stage from three sides. So the third one is arena. The audience sits all around the stage. This is called theatre in a round. So the audience plays all around the performance space. It is a space in which the audience surrounds the stage. Black box. Flexible theatre space that can be formed into any type of theatre space. It is traditionally a room painted black with flexible audience setting. So as you can see, the space are all painted black. It is a simple open space consisting of four walls, a floor, and a ceiling that are all painted black. So the last one is the found space. So it is a stage can be improvised wherever a possible space can be found. So for examples may include staging a performance in a non-traditional space such as a basement of a building, a side of a hill, or in a street. So that's all for today. Thank you.